Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, May 26th, 2026. I, of course, am Hammer, founder of Hammer Solutions, home of great products such as Originator Success, Grab and Go Social, and Rate Sensei. Remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Coming to you today from Indiana. An Airbnb in Indiana. Got to be out of here in a little while, so going to get wrapped up pretty quick this morning. Not a lot to cover anyway. So, good news is things are looking up. So we'll talk more about that in a minute. But remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. If you want to get a quick text reminder that I'm going live, you can sign up at hmmr.io/reminder or use this cool QR code over here. And I send out a text as I'm hitting the button. That way you get the links and you don't have to worry about missing a moment of the show. So especially on days like today when we're going to speed things up and do it a little bit quicker. So if you're here this morning, say good morning, like Sean Segaloff and Rob Stewart. And it is a hat. Listen, my hat's already packed up. So you gotta live without me today. You're getting the bald head. So anyway, if you're watching on the replay, do me a favor, give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. Don't forget to smash that like button if you're on Facebook. Give the thumbs up on YouTube. Tag an LO friend, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, your comments engage not only me, but they engage the algorithm. So appreciate it when you guys participate. Lets me know that you're here. So again, welcome to all the live folks. Rob Wilson, Brandy Brickler, good morning. Screen small today. Venkat, I got to get some glasses. Ron Siegel, fancy new hat is not going to fit on the bike. I should take a picture for y'all so you can see when the bike's all packed up. So that's why I have my old hat. But I've looked, I got a nice tan going, got my sunglass line finally. But we're heading back into some more rain tomorrow. It's been a lot of rain on this trip. So that's kind of the gist. All right, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to jump right in, though. Let me share my screen. We'll start off with the technicals. Let me bring this up. All right. So show you the technicals first here this morning. Let's take a look. Great news. Here, we'll scroll it down here. Great news, great news, great news. Mortgage-backed securities currently up about 33 basis points on the day. That is a wonderful thing. It's going to help you see much better rate sheets this morning. 10-year Treasury yield has fallen below 4.5, again, 4.48. Remember that peaked. That was just a few days ago on Tuesday of last week. It peaked at 4.67. At 4.67, and now we're at 4.48. You can see here it has been a nice trip down for 10-year Treasury yield. We have seen a wonderful, I'm going to switch to green on this one, trip up for mortgage-backed securities. And again, last week, we hit our worst pricing and our worst levels right here on Tuesday. And that corresponded to looking at rate sheets that were looking at the worst rates we'd seen for the year, 6.75, the highest rates. And we've come back down since then, which is wonderful to see. So let's go ahead and take a quick recap what happened on Friday. It was a boring day. That's everything that you could see going on over here. Right here is what we're talking about. So this straight line is because this is where 2 p.m. Eastern time is where bond markets actually ended the day. And it was a quiet day. This move that you see is really not anything at all. And it was a quiet day. A lot of traders were taking off for the 4-day weekend with Memorial Day having off on Monday. So it was a quiet day on Friday. Nothing of note to the day. Today, rate sheets are improving. Bonds have improved early. As you can see, we are up 32 basis points. Realistically, that's from right here. So we are up all the way up here, which is fantastic. We're up 32 basis points on the day. That means that rate sheets are going to be better than we saw on Friday. You were around, say, 6.65. Today we would be back down into that 6.5-ish, probably 6.56 range. Excuse me. Probably somewhere right around there. But we'll see rate sheets continue to improve today. Again, coming off of the worst levels that we saw there on Tuesday last week right here. So exciting news to see that. Reprice risk on the day is moderate. We basically have the same clouds hanging over our head that we've had over our head. There were some skirmishes yesterday. some military action, but it wasn't big action. Apparently, Iran was trying to lay some fresh mines. The U.S. Took those boats out, and then there were drones and released from Iran, and then the U.S. went and took out where they released those drones from. So despite that, it was not technically a break to the ceasefire. The ceasefire remains in effect. Negotiations continue to take place. That's why you're seeing such a positive move in bonds right now. A lot of optimism that a deal is going to get done sometime soon with Iran, which, again, it's very different than we were just a week ago. A week ago, it seemed like we were not going to get a deal at any time. So as headlines shift, as oil prices shift, you'll see mortgage-backed securities shift as well. Oil prices, Brent crude down below $100 a barrel. Nice to see that. It's been pushing up around $110 again last week when we had those highest rates. Being below $100 a barrel is definitely a good sign. So repair service on the day is moderate, but it should be a calm day overall. As far as locking and floating goes, we want to cautiously float everything. I'm going to throw it down on the bottom of the screen. We're cautiously floating everything. Anything closing in the next 15 days, it was probably locked on the way down, unfortunately. But if you do have anything that is unlocked, we can cautiously float because we are continuing to see rates improve. Let's see how today goes. We may want to lock up some stuff by the end of the day just for protection. If you don't get our rate text alerts to find out if we're locking at the end of the day, you may want to sign up for those. I'm going to put those down at the bottom of the screen, ratetextalerts.com. We send out our 10 a.m. alert, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and then we send out a alert around 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern to kind of wrap up. So you might want to make sure you get those. In 15 to 30 days, nothing's really changed in the outlook there. We're cautiously floating because if we do see a deal get done, it's going to help rates to continue to improve. Now, again, even if a deal gets done, once we see traffic getting through the Strait of Hormuz, we're not going to see rates go back into the fives like they were before this whole thing started. We're going to see the low sixes. The risk of inflation, the concerns about inflation have become a little too much right now to see rates move all the way back down. But we're going from 6 3/4. We should improve a quarter to a half a point and get down to around 6 1/4. So that's what we're looking at for that better case scenario of where we would be somewhere in the next 30 days if ships do start to move through the Strait of Hormuz and we get things done. So Ron Siegel says today rates will probably be overstated to the benefit as many lenders probably had hedges on for the weekend. That is definitely true as well. So for those of you that don't know what that means, basically lenders were probably pricing very conservatively on Friday, which we did notice on rate sheets. That's why they looked unchanged. So today it'll look like there's even better improvement. And the reason that they were conservative on Friday is because of any loans that they took in over the weekend that had overnight protection, and they didn't want to wake up on Tuesday morning and find out that they'd taken a bath on those loans. So ceasefire with mine-laying bombs flying, UAE in full fight. Yeah, the definition of a ceasefire, this is just another head fake. Be careful. So Ron voiced his opinion last week that he thinks we will get back into military action. If that does happen, that's going to be a bad, bad thing. So, Holly Johnson, live from the ER waiting room. Your son stepped on a knife while fishing. I hope he's okay. I hope it's nothing major. I hope it's some stitches and just some stitches. I've had plenty of stitches, and but feet can be no tendons, no anything. Good luck. Good luck. I'm so sorry to hear that. Boy. So, all right, my friends. Well, I'm going to get ready to hit the road. We got to be out of here in a few minutes. So that is the update. Let's just real quick, I will go over the headlines for one moment and see if there's anything of real merit that we need to go over, and then we'll wrap things up for today. So let me pull the screen back up. What I'm looking at this week, we've got your regular Bloomberg article, U.S. and Iran clash near Hormuz, even as both tout talks of progress, as Ron was just saying. Kind of funny how it's a ceasefire, but not a real ceasefire. Treasury curve flashes higher for longer warning under Warsh because we're looking at the yield between long-term, say 30-year treasuries, and shorter term, like 5-year treasuries. And you'll see the spread between 5-year and 30-year yields, closely watched gauge of premium investors' demand for holding longer dated debt, narrowed to 81 basis points on Friday, the lowest since May of 2025, before rebounding to around 82 basis points. Definitely paying attention to this and, kind of seeing what's going on. Trump tells Warsh to do his own thing as Fed chair sworn in. Again, Trump can be mercurial even in the best of circumstances. However, according to this, it looks like he is recognizing where things are at. I want Kevin to be totally independent. I want him to be independent and just do a great job. Don't look at me. Don't look at anybody. Just do your own thing and do a great job. So he said the right things here. Whether he follows up on that or starts stamping his feet that he wants rate cuts that aren't going to happen this year, that's a totally different story. Looking at where we'll be at the end of the year, markets a little more optimistic that things could stay the same, but still a 65% chance of rate hikes by the end of the year, based on the concerns and fear of inflation right now. So overall, though, again, we had retaliation, but yet still a ceasefire. Kind of a funny world. So, all right, my friends, that's it. I am done for today. Thank you again for joining me. I'll see you. Make sure you join me tomorrow, and we'll be back on same bat time, same bat channel. And I'll see you then. Take care, everybody, and have a fantastic day. And good luck, Holly Johnson, to your son. Bye-bye.